Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Hodge. If the video looks any different, it's because I'm trying out some lighting, some better lighting. I gotta work on some shadows, but I think it should be better than it has been. And you guys really seem to like my Hodge Rambles from yesterday, talking about video games. And I asked if you wanted me to talk about movies and stuff, because I like movies and I like to talk about them, and TV shows too. I kind of lumped in there with that. And so kind of for this inaugural talking about television and movies and such in the what is not a long series of Hodge Rambles. I just started it, so I can do whatever I want to with it. I figured I would talk about one of my favorite comedies, which is How I Met Your Mother. If you haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, you're really missing out. It is fantastic as far as comedies go. Friends was kind of the flagship comedy series, of the past generation, and I feel like How I Met Your Mother is really the new version of that. Now, to be fair, Friends was more of a next level of Seinfeld. And I feel like there's been other shows along the way, but How I Met Your Mother is kind of in that thing, that group of kind of show. There we go. Whew. And it's kind of like that. What I like about it better, with Friends, you got some of the flashbacks. You get to see the characters when they're younger and see kind of how they got where they are. With How I Met Your Mother, that is kind of the show. In kind of the way that Family Guy is a comedy, you get situational humor, but then you have the flashbacks that are random, and it's like, oh, that adds to the humor. How Much Your Mother is like that. I would say it's like the Family Guy of modern sitcoms, and I like that. It's kind of a cool thing. Most sitcoms, they used to be filmed in front of a live audience, blah blah blah. How Much Your Mother is filmed beforehand, and then they show it to an audience, and that's where the laugh track actually comes from. So I think that's cool too. But it's something totally different. The characters, you want to connect with them. I think it's funny because the show is about this character Ted, who's trying to find, or who's telling a story of finding his wife to his children. Thus the title of the show. But I find that I don't like his character as much. He's good, but I like other characters way more than him. Specifically, Jason Segel's character, who is Marshall. Jason Segel would be the guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, if you don't know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Jason Segel's character almost makes the show, and probably would were it not for Neil Patrick Harris, who plays Barney. Who probably makes the show even more better. That's not right. It makes the show better. He's hilarious, and he does a phenomenal job as Barney. It's funny that he's this womanizing man in the show, but he is hilarious as Barney. What I like about the show is it's another thing I like about the show is that it's got this little quirkiness to it. For example, Barney always wears a suit. And you never see him without a suit. There's a couple of times in the show that you see him without one, but for the majority, he's wearing a suit. And that kind of quirkiness is the stuff that you come to really love in a sitcom. I think back to to Seinfeld and to Friends, and these inside jokes that just become the norm. If you ever watch Friends, Chandler and his smoking is kind of what I'm talking about. It was this joke that was easy to hearken back to, and if you knew the show, you just knew it. And that's kind of how I Met Your Mother is. If you were to come in any given day and you never seen the show, you'd wonder, well, why is this guy in a suit all the time? But we as the fans know, because we've seen it from the beginning, that he always wears them. That's kind of what I mean. And that to me is the makings of a really good comedy sitcom, when you can reference something that happened forever ago, that's just kind of ingrained in our communal psyche of watching the show. It's always a good thing, and it makes for a better show all around. Another thing they do really good is when they do mention something like that, something that happened a long time ago, they do a really good job of reminding the people that have been watching, but also in telling the new audience. Anytime there's something referenced from, a way back, they always will explain it. And that's good too, because otherwise the show's just for people who have been watching from the beginning, and they do a good job of starting, way down the road, and people can come in and still feel like they know what's going on. So that's good that it has that level of stuff for new people, but also stuff for people who have been there from the beginning. So if you've never watched How I Met Your Mother, it's on Netflix. You should check it out. It is definitely my go-to comedy. Under it falls Arrested Development, and that might be a future episode of this. But How I Met Your Mother, I still think one of the best written comedies that we have nowadays. I definitely expect it and see it to be the Friends for our generation. So yeah, there you go. There's a little ramble about How I Met Your Mother, and you should definitely check it out. It is on Netflix if you got it. If not, I'm sure you can find it on this whole wide internet. And that's about it for today. So I will see you guys later.